Imagine this. You have just finished several months of cancer treatment. You walk into your doctor's office. The scans are on the screen. The doctor smiles. The treatment is working. He tells you. The tumor has become much smaller, and your family can now breathe a sigh of relief. For the first time in months, there is hope. Then, 6 months later, you are back in the same office. The doctor opens a new scan. This time the smile is gone. The cancer is back. So what happened? Why did a treatment that worked so well suddenly stop working? A lot of people I have come across, when they came to know that I am doing cancer research, they often ask me this question. And today, I would like to answer it. I don't want to make it complicated. I will not discuss any complicated biology with you. I will not discuss or present any medical jargon. But I will just use one simple analogy to explain why cancer treatments stop working. So before we get there, I think it is important that we understand one thing. When people hear the word cancer, they think of it as one disease. Not everybody, but a lot of people. Of course, everyone knows there are different types of cancers. There is breast cancer, there's lung cancer, colon cancer, prostate cancer, and of course many others. But the reality is even more complicated than that. Even two patients who are diagnosed with the same type of lung cancer are likely to have tumors that are biologically very different. And now here's something even more interesting, or crazy, I would say. Even within a single patient's tumor, not every cancer cell is identical. Cancer is incredibly diverse, and that diversity is one of the biggest reasons advanced cancer eventually stops responding to treatment. Let me explain this with an analogy. Imagine an enemy army with 100,000 soldiers. Now imagine that every soldier represents one cancer cell. Together, those soldiers form the tumor. Most soldiers look almost identical, but hidden among them are maybe 10 soldiers who are different. They have different armor, they have different survival abilities, something that makes them different from everybody else. Because there are only 10 of them, you don't even notice. Now imagine you have developed a powerful new weapon. That weapon represents a cancer drug. You launch it. A huge explosion tears through the battlefield. When the smoke clears, almost the entire army is gone. 99,990 soldiers have been eliminated. Translated back into cancer, the drug has killed almost all of the cancer cells. The tumor becomes much smaller. The scans now look fantastic. It feels like you have won, but you haven't. Because those few different soldiers are still standing. The weapon couldn't kill them. Now the battlefield is almost empty, and they begin multiplying. Months pass. Those few surviving soldiers gradually built the entire army. But now there's one crucial difference. This new army is almost entirely made up of the soldiers that survived the first attack. Now imagine using exactly the same weapon again. What would happen? This time, almost nothing happens. Not because the weapon became weaker. It's the same weapon. The weapon still works exactly the way it always did. The problem is that enemy has changed. And that's exactly what often happens in advanced cancer. The treatment works, the tumor shrinks, but a small number of cancer cells survive. Over the following months, those surviving cells multiply. Eventually, the tumor grows back. That's why doctors often have to change treatments. Not because the previous medicine suddenly became a bad medicine, but because they are now fighting a different enemy. A different enemy requires a different weapon. Unfortunately, the same cycle can happen again. The second treatment works. Most cancer cells die. A few survive. They multiply. The cancer comes back. And the cycle repeats itself. That, in my opinion, is one of the biggest reasons advanced cancers remain so difficult to cure. Now you might ask, why don't we simply invent a stronger drug or give more of the same drug? Now here's the challenge with that approach or with that idea. Cancer isn't a virus. It isn't a bacterium. Cancer cells began as your own healthy cells. They're one of your own. They are your own cells that stopped following the rules. That's the problem. Now that means every time we attack cancer, we also have to protect healthy cells that look very similar. The challenge isn't simply killing cancer. The challenge is killing cancer without causing unacceptable damage to the patient. And this is what we often see when we see people getting chemotherapy, for example, or other cancer treatments. We often see them losing hair. We often see them having severe diarrhea. We often see them having many other side effects. Now, if all of this sounds discouraging, I truly don't want to leave you with that impression. The truth is, we have made remarkable progress over the last few decades. Many patients today live much longer than they once did. Some cancers that were once almost impossible to treat can now be controlled for years. Really, they can be controlled for years in many patients. This is not a hopeless situation, or this is not a hopeless story. It is far from it. In this video, I wanted to answer one question. Why does cancer often come back, even after treatment seems to be working? In the next videos, we will explore the breakthroughs that have transformed cancer treatment, why some modern therapies have been so successful, why others still fail, and where I believe cancer research is heading in the future. I'm Gaurav Patria. This is The Global Scientist. And as always, question everything.